Because while I really love all of our girls that we have in there, we would love to have more male activism, more more of the male perspective, because that is a really important part in a lot of people getting active, is hearing about all different types of perspectives within the Black community.
A quick shout out to our sponsor and podcast home app, Anchor FM. Do you want to start a podcast? As your host of Coaching You Through All Things Education and the founder of ANC Unlimited, I use Anchor FM for easy editing, connecting with other podcast apps such as Spotify, Apple, and of course now iHeartRadio. It's free, so I can create as many episodes or bonus episodes for my listeners as I choose. Sign up today at anchor.fm. Connection, engagement, rigor, success. Here on Coaching You Through All Things Education podcast, we are building a legacy of success together, one episode at a time, each Tuesday at noon. As your host, Anne Labangana Clay of ANC Unlimited, we will unpack relevant topics in education together. And when I'm not podcasting, coaching, or consulting, stop by our website, afunlimited.org, for our new blog, Coaching You EDU, and a menu of services. If something resonates with you during this episode, message me on the podcast app of your choice or leave a comment on LinkedIn, our company Facebook page, or on Twitter. Our guests appreciate your feedback. Check out the story notes for our social media details, and certainly, if you have an episode suggestion, send it to coachingallthingsedu@gmail.com. Now let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 31 of Coaching You Through All Things Education podcast. What an honor and privilege it is for me to have our guest today, the newly founded Delaware Black Student Coalition. The DBSC is a student-led organization by 7 Black Delaware female activists and student leaders who are focusing on equity and equality in their communities. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. All right, we're going to start with question number 1. Can you please introduce yourselves and share your role in the Delaware Black Student Coalition, and tell us what led you to be where you are today in the coalition?
I can start. I'm Taraya Highland. I'm a senior at St. George's Technical High School and a rising freshman at Howard University. And I am one of the founders of the Delaware Black Student Coalition, and my primary role is Chief of Outreach and Public Action. So I handle our partnerships, recruitment, and all public affiliations that we do.
Awesome.
I can go next. My name is Kaylin Parker. I go to Dover High. I'm a senior at Dover High School, and I'm not committed to any college right now. I'm a co-founder of DBSC, and I am the Chief of Regulation and Policy, which means I write our regulations and our policies and all of our rules and our documents and everything like that.
All right, awesome.
I'll keep it going. So, hi, my name is Lauren Hick. I am a senior at Mount Pleasant High School. I too have yet to commit to a college. So my role within the organization is like the secretary position. So scheduling, document organization, making sure everyone like knows what's going on, and all that stuff.
All right, awesome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hasna Parker. I'm a senior at Smyrna High School and upcoming freshman at Pomona College. In Delaware Black Student Coalition, I'm like responsible for like the tech area of things. I make the website and just do everything relating to that and like our email list and everything. Thank you.
Very awesome.
Hello, my name is Cassidy Parker, and I just do admissions, so admission counseling, and I admit people into our organization. I'm a senior at Dover High, and I'm not committed to any college as of right now.
All right, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, ladies. We are really excited to get into our questions. I know our audience is too. So let's see. Anyone or all of you can answer this one. There are differing opinions about how people hear the words Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. The name of your organization is called Delaware Black Student Coalition. Can you unpack for our audience how the name was selected and the mission of DBSC?
Wow, that's actually a really good story. When we first started out, our name was Delaware Minority Student Coalition, and it's because we really wanted to focus on like Black and brown issues and everything. But I feel like we also were watering down our message so we could feel more digestible to people. And like you said, people hear like All Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter in like different viewpoints, and I feel like a lot of people feel like Black is political or Black is like divisive. And I think that's because we've always had a history of ignoring the issues of race in our country. So that was kind of our way of being like, hey, like we're here for like everyone, because oftentimes when you like to focus on Black issues alone, people like to call you divisive or just all sorts of names that just don't apply to you, but you don't want to go through the struggle or the ordeal of having to fight for even being able to call yourself, like the Black Coalition. But I think as we started to get more and more like closer to our launch and everything, we were like, you know what, we're here because we're 7 Black young ladies and we want to support other Black students and other Black leaders in Delaware. And so we just decided like, if we're going to be focused on this group of people, we should be named for this group of people so that our demographic feels comfortable approaching us and feels comfortable, knowing that this is a space for them and this is a space for us. You know what I mean? So that.
I think Kaylin really hit the nail. I wanted to add onto that a little bit. Our mission, like Kaylin said, is to center Black students and Black voices. And a fun fact about all of the founders of the DBSC were all the founders of our Black student unions, founders or presidents of our Black student unions. So we really are passionate about centering Black students, centering Black voices, and enabling Black student advocates. And I think the primary purpose of the DBSC was to give space to students that looked like us, that didn't have these type of spaces. And not only was it in their schools, but statewide. So we spread from the bottom of Delaware to the top of Delaware. And just to connect and have that network of Black students is just amazing. And I think, like Kaylin said, when we were first originally named Delaware Minority Student Coalition, it took for a very iconic community activist to tell us, like, there's nothing minor about you guys. Like, you are Black students, you are the Delaware Black Student Coalition, so stand by that and stand on that. And it took for her to tell us that, for us to really realize that, yeah, like, why aren't we, the Delaware Black Student Coalition? Like, there's nothing minor about us. And and from that conversation, like, we immediately changed our name, and it was perfect timing because it was right before our launch.
Oh, that's awesome. That is an amazing story, ladies. Wow. Because like you said, you've already had that passion, that drive, right, in your own schools and in your own right. And then you've come together to empower and to center, right? I heard the word center. others across the state. And I think that's important. A lot of us work in silos, right? The things we do, that we're passionate about, we work in a silo. But when you work together, right, the power of that is so intense. And there will be so much, I know, coming down the pike, because you all are new. I'm going to bring that up in a minute. But I can imagine such wonderful things because you work together. And I'm sure that the students across the state of Delaware, and I'm sure there will be connections with coalitions across the country soon. I think that web of intensity will just drive so much change in our country, which is so needed at this time. Awesome. All right. So our next question. Congratulations, first of all, on the founding and launching of DBSC in January, right, of 2021, just recently. What have been some challenges? And please share some of your successes, because I know they're there.
So I think one big success, to start off on a good note, we were recently featured in the Washington Post. We had a national news article written about us, and talking with Kaylin, Tarai, and Elise, I believe those were the three on there, just talking about who we are, what we're doing. And that felt huge to us, because we're wait, so we're actually making an impact. People actually caring about us to get us nationwide attention. And that was really important, because coming out of our struggles, we've really been struggling. How do you run an organization? None of us have even graduated high school yet. So we were okay, well, how do you recruit people? How do you come up with professional schedules? How do you make connections? How do you network? How do you do this? How do you do that? And it was kind of discouraging sometimes, because we would reach out to people and not hear back, or we would say, hey, you came to one meeting, where'd you go? Right. But I think it was good to kind of get over all of those hurdles.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Lauren. The Washington Post, I feel was really a big step forward for us, and it was nice to win, to get to start off on a good note. But some real hard tips that we've had is really recruiting, because while I really love all of our girls that we have in there, we would love to have more male activism, more more of the male perspective, because that is a really important part in a lot of people getting active, is hearing about all different types of perspectives within the Black community. So yeah, just recruitment is really been really hard for us.
Yes, and I agree completely with what Lauren and Cassie has had, but I have a different success of ours. And my success is just everything that we do every single day. These girls are in this group chat texting all day long. We're always getting work done. We've come so far, and just being there to say, let's make this organization, we see this problem and we're going to solve it with this, that in itself, and doing it, and actually successfully doing it. We can only go forward from now. And just having that, I feel that is a huge success. And a struggle as well is being juggling the organization and being a student at the same time with senioritis. All of that together is really been a struggle.
Oh my God.
Yes. Hassan and Cassie and Lauren really hit the nail, because I'll start with the obstacles first. For us, I think also a really, really big obstacle was, as Black women, trying, as not even Black young women, trying to get people to take us serious as Black students, because first as students, they want to take us serious, because okay, you're just a student. But when you add a Black woman on top of it, it's why would we listen to you? So I think that was really a big obstacle for us, is for people to really take us serious as an organization. People constantly just looking at us and what? What is this? Stuff like that. And just really standing our ground in spaces where, we're young, we're the youngest in the room, and we may be, the people with the least amount of degrees. We're in rooms with people with doctorate degrees, but just really remembering that we have the most expertise as students, with students with firsthand experiences and things like that sort. So I think that was also a really big obstacle for us. And on a more personal level, for the founding circle, I think it was also hard for us to adapt to that dynamic that we're all on the same level, because we're all so used to being the presidents and the highest leader. But here it's like we need to collaboratively work because we are a team, and like just coming down to each other's level was something that we had to adjust to, but we adjusted really well. I think we have a really good dynamic now, but that was really tough. And then like Hassan said, like we're all seniors besides Elise. Elise is a junior, but we're all seniors. And I'm not sure if you like could tell, but like we're all also very active in the community. So like not only are we busy with DBSC work, but like Hassan and Baby on the panel this day, I'm on the panel that day, I have this to do, that to do. And like, so we're all like very, very active within the community on our own level. So also trying to like manage our own personal work with the DBSC work is still a lot. So, and that's still been a very big obstacle for us. And then one more. And I think it's also been hard for us to also, despite being like very involved on our individual basis, to like meet at one time. Like it's really hard for us to get into like,
yes,
like for example, like this, like we can't all do this because, you know, someone else has something and then someone else. So it's like hard for us to do certain things all together. Like normally, like with the Washington Post article, it was 4 of us because, you know, the others couldn't join. So it's hard to do stuff like that. But for the wins, I think what I really love about DBSC, especially the founding circle, is like we celebrate every single thing. Like a new membership, like we're celebrating, we're going off. A new partnership, like we're going, like I think that's what I really love about our circle, is like we really do a good job of celebrating the small wins. And then I would also say we have officially 3 partnerships with 3 organizations, which is really big for us. And we're still like establishing more. The Washington Post, but not only did we get the Washington Post, we got the US News, and then we got a few other news outlets. And then we also were published in Delaware Online and a few other local news articles. So we have like a lot of publications, which is what I really love for us. And then the most important one, in my opinion, is we've been named sponsors or experts on House Bill 198. So, or consultants formally on House Bill 198, which is a bill that primarily will mandate Black studies K through 12 in public schools within Delaware. So if that bill gets passed, that would be a major win for us and then the state of Delaware in general, because we were able to directly advise on that bill and the formation of that bill.
Now that, I mean, you have a lot of successes, but that definitely impact for a long, long time to come. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I was just going to say, and then I think the beauty of it all is like, we're so new. Like we've done all of this within 4 months. So like what Hassan said, like, I can't even imagine like how much further we're going to go because we've just done so much already.
I can't either, but I'm excited about it because, you know, what you've done so far in this short window of time, right, will impact, like you said, if it goes through, even if it doesn't go through, you've obviously made an impact on somebody's, you know, opinion and mind, even at our government level, that will go on for, you know, those anyway, it will pass. It will pass. But either way, oh my gosh, I know, I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I am really excited because I remember when I was your age, right? And I'm thinking back to that energy and the love and passion for what's right that I can see in each one of you and hear when you're speaking. But in addition to that, you know, like you said, most of you are seniors and you're still, right, you're carving out this time because it's what's important. It's what's most important right now. And everything will work out beautifully because you did that. Did I interrupt anybody else? Anybody else want to share?
I was just gonna say that everything Taraya said is completely true, and everything I was thinking she was saying, like especially with the like having a hard time with people taking us seriously. Like I remember like when we would introduce ourselves or when we would have meetings, people would be like so who's helping you? And we'd be like, no, like we're completely student led. And you know, like not people having a hard time like wrapping their heads around like us getting this far with like us being like, and not to say that we haven't had help or anything, because we've had so much help from like, you know, like it's just so many people and so many adults. And like as we like steadily grow and as we steadily get bigger, it's like harder for people to understand like how much we're getting done with like student leaders and like Black leaders and Black student activists, and how like we're all just making time to be like make this change. And so I think that that's one of like our struggles, is getting people to really take us seriously as activists instead of like student activists, because like this is like what we're passionate about, and like this is like, it's not like community service for us, you know what I mean? Like it's not like something that we're doing, you know, like so we can like rack up points or something. Like we're here to make the change and like take the time out to do what we're here to do. And so I think that's like, and definitely House Bill 198, I was going to say, is one of our biggest successes to this day, because I just like, it's something that I've been so passionate about for so long. And so, you know, to have that work be like not done, but to see product from the work that you've been working on for so long is so, oftentimes in this line of work, you do not see the product, you know, you do not see, you know, like a finished piece of paper with your organization's name on it and like it's being sent. So like just to see the product that you've been working on for so long and that you've been passionate about for so long, and that you've like went to meetings for like, and just, it's just all been so great. And so that would definitely be one of the successes that we celebrated so much.
And as you should. Well, I've heard a lot about, you know, there's something, right, recruiting and things like that. There's some needs of support that you still need at this point. That's going to lead us into our next question. So, what are some of those ways that you're seeking support from our Delaware schools, our government, and the community? And not just the community here in Delaware, but across the country and the world, because you have access to that via podcasting. So what are some ways that you need support? I hear recruiting. What specifically can people be helping you with?
You could go first, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess I can touch on that since like that's kind of like my thing a little bit. So I really think first in regards to schools, I really think what's big for us is just partnering with these schools and getting their students to join our organization. Because right now we have about 25 members, but obviously there's so many more Black students across the state. So we want all of the students. So I think that's really big for schools, is that we start really establishing those partnerships and getting them to like send their students into our organization, which we don't have yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And on a government level, like more student voices and giving our direct input on policy, being formed, and like being, like I said, just being direct student voices on, you know, legislation, giving our input and being directly involved in the process that affects us.
Yeah, I completely agree, because definitely with like the government like needing more student input, because, you know, when they were like discussing House Bill 198, I heard like a lot of the representatives saying like, oh, well, students need this, when like just 2 weeks ago I was hearing students directly out of the students' mouth say like that they needed the exact opposite, you know, that they needed support in other areas where they weren't getting support. And while our government was worrying about like things that weren't really like saying that was needed by students. So basically, yeah, I agree with her. Yeah. I think the best way that schools could support us would be, I think the best way that schools could support us would be like, maybe we could like, in the Delaware area more, like we could like form partnerships, and then we would like go to schools and maybe talk to some students, or like just like have assemblies, you know, like there are so many, like I remember being in school and like having assemblies where people are like, hey, like, you know, if you do this, like you'll like get like a free yo-yo or something like that. But like just like have like fun little assemblies and stuff where we can show them like what we're about and what we're doing. And so basically just help us like get to the students and help us make our point to the students that we're here for them, because a lot of students don't know that organizations like us are here for them. A lot of students don't know that there are opportunities like this for them. So I think that that would be like the best way for schools to help us out.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
One thing I kind of have is just like for the community in order to help us out is maybe just like word of mouth, honestly, just be like, and also what does the community need from us? Because we want to go out and help you guys. And the best way for you guys to help us is tell you what you need. Because if we can help you, then you're going to be like, oh, DBSC helped my daughter with this. DBSC helped my son with this. So I'm going to go tell my cousin. I'm going to go tell my neighbor. and then it just gets around and around. And so we want you guys to come to us with your problems so we can help you. And it's that symbiotic relationship. That's really, I think, one way that can support everyone.
Absolutely. Any other thoughts?
I was also going to just add giving us money, because like I said, we are a student-led organization, high school students, and working part-time, and it gets expensive after a while. So we, need money. So that's, for anyone, like donate, give us money. We actually have a donation link, so maybe I could give that to you and you can put that, in the thing. But yeah, I was going to say just giving us money, and then also just more for the community, like Lauren said, just amplifying our voices, spreading the word. And then nationally, like we're all going off to college, and none of us plan on staying in Delaware. So we eventually plan to expand. So, forming partnerships and a network nationally so that we can eventually expand beyond, the state of Delaware.
Indeed. All right now. I see I'm getting my investment in early, ladies. No, seriously, because, you can tell, I hope, that I am personally passionate about what you're doing. And I definitely envision excellent things. And I know it should not just stay in Delaware, but I'm going to do my part to help with getting the word out, as well as trying to make sure that people are aware, right, of what you're doing and things that you're doing. We're going to put some things in the show notes, but I'm also going to do some personal outreach. And if you are listening to this podcast today, folks, please make sure that you tune into the story notes. Their website is there. It'll help you keep up with everything that's going on with them, as well as ways to communicate ways that you would like for them to work with you in the community. All right, awesome. All right, we're going to wrap up with our last question. It is trending on the show. If you could have your own billboard with anything written on it, what legacy message would you write on it and why?
I personally would probably write our catchphrase, for students, by students, and then just have a big picture of all of the beautiful Black students that we have, and just, have that visual of just Black joy, Black excellence, and just have our, for students, by students. And then that would just really be a representation of who we are, because it's created for students, by students that look like us. So yeah, I think that's what I would do.
Awesome.
Soraya, that is such a good answer. That is such a good answer, Soraya. I mean, I don't think I could top that. Like, it's just so perfect. Like, that's exactly what DBSC is about. And so I just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of struggling to follow that one up also. But because Triya really just said it perfectly. Like, I think especially when you said put like all of our beautiful DBSC faces, because everyone, and this is a great time to shout out all of our members. If y'all are listening, we love you guys. They're all like gorgeous people inside and out. They're some of the most caring, kind, like hardworking people I've ever met. And some of them are even like 12, 13. And I'm like, you're more hardworking than I was. So I think especially like amplifying those younger faces and just getting their faces out there would be awesome. Like, if this 13-year-old can do it, your 13-year-old can do it.
That's right. Wow.
Can I just add something really fast? Just another, plug for our general members. I think that's also what I love. I know that's what I love about DBSC is we're middle school, high school, and college students. So like our youngest is 11 or 12. She's 12. Our youngest is 12. And then our oldest is like 21 or 20. She's 20. But it's just like we have such a wide variety of students. And like Lauren said, our general members are outstanding. Like, we are so eager to also amplify their voices, to plug them with as many opportunities as possible. So also, I think that's also another call to action, is just extending opportunities that we can also extend to our general members, for, community members that may have an opportunity for them to intern or volunteer or work, because we really love our general members, and they're also so eager to get involved within the community. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So the youngest can be what? What's the youngest? Middle school, as long as they're qualified via middle school. All right, awesome.
For my billboard, I just wanted to take like a portion of what I said in my public comment on House Bill 198. And it is, My Blackness is poetry in motion. It is perseverance and forgiveness, and above all, my Blackness is beautiful. And I would put that on there for every single Black student who comes, or Black person in general, who comes by and reads that and constantly reaffirms themselves that their Blackness is beautiful, despite what anybody would tell them, despite what the world tells them every single day, despite how our Blackness is seen as a threat and something to be afraid of. Our Blackness is beautiful. It is perseverance, it is forgiveness, and it is poetry in motion.
Wow. Okay, Amanda Gorman. Love it. Love it. The next Amanda Gorman. There you go. Because that was beautiful. Oh my goodness. Any final thoughts on Billboard before we wrap up? Oh my gosh. Woo.
I can't come up with one.
That's okay. I think it's been covered.
I think Hasana hit the nail. Hasana hit the nail.
I was like, they're both so good. Like, I can't.
So 2 Billboard or 3, however many. Just combine them. Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing this space with us today on Coaching You Through All Things Education podcast. If anyone wants to reach out to them, their website and all of their social media connects will be in our story notes. You can also reach out to me directly at afunlimited.org, and I'm happy to connect you with these ladies as well, and the vision that they have is incredible, and I wish you all the most success that you can possibly have. All right, ladies. Until next time, right?
Yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as well. We appreciate this so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Well, that concludes another episode of Coaching You Through All Things Education. As Confucius states, those people who develop the ability to continuously acquire new and better forms of knowledge that they can apply to their work and into their lives will be the movers and shakers in our society for the indefinite future. Again, you can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter, or you can also find us on our Facebook page, A&C Unlimited. As a reminder, for a free consultation in any area of education that you choose, for educators, administrators, or parents, please visit afunlimited.org. Until next time, stay stress-free and be well.